The ground opened. 3 men, their families, and everything they owned fell into the earth. Then the ground closed, as if it had never happened. This is the story of Korah's rebellion. It is the most dramatic judgment in the entire wilderness period. But it is not only a story about punishment. It is a story about what holiness means, and about who gets to decide. Israel is in crisis. The 12 spies have returned from Canaan. 10 brought a terrible report. The people panicked. They refused to enter. God declared judgment. The generation that left Egypt would die in the wilderness. Not one would see the promised land. The mood in the camp is heavy. Trust in Moses and Aaron has fractured. The people feel trapped in that moment, and Korah steps forward. Korah is a Levite, a cousin of Moses and Aaron. He is not a low-ranking man. Levites serve at the tabernacle. They carry the tent of meeting through the wilderness. But Korah wants more. He wants the priesthood. He arrives with 250 leaders, men of standing, men the congregation knows. And he brings 2 Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram. Their complaint is political. Moses brought them out of Egypt, they say. He led them into the wilderness. And now he rules over them. 3 complaints, 3 factions, 1 accusation. All the congregation is holy, every one of them. The Lord is among them. Why do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Lord? It sounds reasonable. It even sounds theological. This is the heart of the rebellion. And Moses answers not with argument, but with a test. He tells Korah to appear before God the next morning. Each man takes a censer. They fill it with incense. They bring it before the Lord. And God will show who is holy. Moses does not defend himself. He does not fight for his position. He says, let God decide. But Moses also accuses Korah directly. Korah already has a great privilege. He serves at the tabernacle. He stands before the congregation. That is a gift, but it is not enough. Korah wants the priesthood, and the priesthood is not his to take. The issue is not authority. The issue is the appointed authority. God assigns roles. God defines who serves where and how. Korah's claim sounds humble. We are all holy. But it is a rejection of God's structure. It uses the language of equality to seize what was not given. The next morning, the 250 men appear with their censers. Moses separates the congregation from Korah's household. He tells the people to step back. Do not touch anything that belongs to these men. The ground cracks. Then it opens. Korah, Dathan, Abiram, their households, and all their possessions fall in. The earth closes over them. Fire comes from the Lord. It consumes the 250 men with their censers. The camp falls silent. The next day, the congregation grumbles. Moses and Aaron killed the Lord's people, they say. The judgment did not end the rebellion. It only changed its shape. God sends a plague. Aaron takes his censer and runs into the midst of the assembly. He stands between the dead and the living. The plague stops, but 14,700 have already died. Then God gives a new instruction. 12 staffs, 1 from each tribe. Aaron's staff for Levi. They are placed before the ark in the tent of meeting. The next morning, Aaron's staff had budded. It has blossomed. It bears almonds. The other 11 staff were unchanged. God tells Moses to keep Aaron's staff before the testimony. A permanent sign. A warning to future generations. But here is something the story does not announce. Numbers 26 records it quietly. The sons of Korah did not die. Korah's sons refused to follow their father. They survived. Their descendants became temple singers. 11 of the Psalms carry their name. Psalms 42, 44 through 49, 84, 85, 87, and 88. As a deer pants for flowing streams, so pants my soul for you, O God. How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts. The sons of Korah wrote about longing for the house of God, about hope, about waiting for salvation. The family that came closest to destroying Israel's worship became some of its greatest worshippers. Jude writes about the way of Cain, the error of Balaam, and the rebellion of Korah. He places Korah alongside the gravest moral failures in Israel's history. The pattern is the same in each case. Rejecting the appointed authority, pursuing what was not given, claiming a status that was not yours. Korah's rebellion is not an ancient story without a present meaning. It is still a warning. God assigns roles. Not every role is equal, but every role is given. Korah's desire was not evil in itself. Access to God is not wrong, but he wanted access on his own terms, through his own claim, by his own right. The wilderness generation died because they refused to trust God's provision. Korah died because he refused to trust God's structure. Both are the same failure, a refusal to believe that God knows what he is doing. Aaron's staff was preserved in the ark. A sign was kept before the testimony. Authority in God's house is not seized. It blooms.